So, I know I'm a bit of a COD fanboy. I love the series, and for some reason, even when I try to hold off on it, I always seem to end up owning each installment that comes out year after year. Now, I didn't talk about Black Ops 4 beyond the beta, and that's honestly because the game got very old, very fast, and what little content was being drip-fed was boring and locked behind the reserves or the annoying as hell contraband stream. Black Ops 4 just honestly wasn't worth my time beyond zombies, and I stopped playing it. Things seemed to be taking a dark turn. No longer could I consistently enjoy these games. I wasn't getting off work and coming home and playing for a little while. Then Modern Warfare came out and said, to hell with that, we're gonna make a fun as hell game and you're gonna play it. And begrudgingly accepting I had to bring my PS4 out to do so, I played the shit out of that 2v2 alpha, and I loved every single moment of it. Let me get what I didn't like out of the way right away. There were a few times when I thought I was being super sneaky and hiding behind cover, only to be rattled full of holes, and upon watching the kill cam footage, find that I was standing out in the open. Having a better sense of space in the first person perspective is something Infinity Ward really needs to nail down before release. This way, you don't get into unfair situations where you can't see your enemy, but they can see you perfectly. Your head is just sort of kind of peeking out to the point where you think you'd be able to see from their perspective, but you can't from yours. In addition, I didn't like the map Pine, and neither did Mel, who I played with for a large portion of the alpha. For me personally, it was because the PS4 really struggled to run that map, and also the fact that I didn't perceive any verticality within it. You either go down the sides or you go down the middle, and my choice as for how to play each round started with that decision every time, and there wasn't much else to it. Same can probably be said for more of the maps, it just wasn't as apparent with the other ones. And the last thing I didn't like about this alpha was the fact that I had to pull out the ancient piece of hardware known as the PS4 to play it. Seriously, this game looked real potato, and while the frames mostly kept to 30, which was definitely an adjustment I don't want to make again, they sometimes dip below that into damn near sickening numbers. Add on to that the PS4 doesn't have a little thing called universal keyboard support, so while I was able to play a good few hours with the keyboard and mouse, I couldn't play at all using my K70, which was really disappointing. That led me to use controller for a large deal of the alpha, and that is also an adjustment I really don't want to have to make again. The mouse aiming did feel a little weird, but it was a solid alright, and no doubt will be better when I get to play the game on the superior platform and tinker with some options a bit, which were surprisingly absent from this 2v2 alpha. Now with all that out of the way, let's talk about all the good shit in the alpha. The way the guns handled in this game felt amazing. Actually having recoil for once was so nice compared to all these almost laser gun weapons in previous CODs. Not to mention all the little changes that really add up to make a big difference. Sliding and the grenade cooking timer from Ghosts Are Back further helping me with the fact that I will never see a sequel to that game. But beyond that, the ability to mount on different pieces of cover to help control recoil or lean around walls, and the ability to reload while aiming down sights were welcome additions. Speaking of welcome additions, COD finally brought over the assassinations from Halo, and they're beautiful. This is easily my favorite thing they added to the game. There were 3 other things that really stood out to me about the weapons themselves as well. The first being just how good the optics look in this game. I'm not exactly sure how to articulate just what I love about them, but I think whatever it is most definitely a positive and something you will understand if you ever decide to try the game out for yourself. The second being the animations, and while still pretty hard to articulate what I think about them, I think I can at least make an attempt here. And that would be that they look a lot less stiff than previous animations in the series. The last thing that stood out to me was just how different each weapon could be with a different set of attachments. This is our small taste of the gun bench system at work, and I really like what we have of it so far. The M13 was available in both configurations that made it feel more like a submachine gun and more like an assault rifle. The AK also had a version of itself that handled more akin to a light machine gun. Talking about the mode itself, what surprised me was just how fast the matches really were despite being an elimination game mode. If either John or I died, it wouldn't be that long before we were playing again, and I think that is what made it all the more fun to cheer each other on from the spectator's perspective. To be honest, that's all I can really discuss about the Modern Warfare Alpha. It was a very, very small slice of what's shaping up to be a much larger game. Even though it was short and quite small in scale, I found myself reeled in a way COD hasn't done in a very long time. I'm very optimistic for the beta coming next month, which I will undoubtedly be making a video on as well, and then the full release of the game in October. That being said, we still have no idea what the microtransactions for this game look like, and that scares me. Microtransactions are the only thing that can take everything that we have been shown and run it into the ground irreversibly. However, I will touch on this more when we actually know more about them closer to the game's release. Cautious optimism. With that being said, once again, we're back at unscripted outro time. It's been a little while. I wanted to get this video out so much quicker. I'm going to try and edit it quick before I go to work, but... So... started a video on The Last of Us, and then the Modern Warfare 2v2 came out of nowhere. That was really cool, and then I got sick. I got over being sick. I still am getting over being sick, as you can probably hear in my voice, and my boss decides that he should schedule me 6 days in a row at my part-time job. The lines between part and full-time are becoming a little blurry at this point. Yeah. Well... I mean, this video is going to kind of be a small one. I think the largest segment is the one I'm going to be recording now. But hopefully things are better. Picked up Astral Chain. Been playing through that. It's not my favorite Platinum game, but hey, it's not bad so far. I'll make a video on that. Gonna bust out my capture card for that, like my old Elgato. You remember those things? Yeah, I had to do that because Switch can't record natively, and it's not on PC, so definitely going to be talking about Astral Chain because I am a Platinum Games fanboy, just like I am a COD fanboy. But that's really about it. Got a lot of stuff coming out this fall. We got what do we got? We got Jedi Fallen Order. We got the full release of Modern Warfare and the beta to talk about. Is that it? I know I've got to talk about Astral Chain yet too. Oh, we got Code Vein. Code Vein is coming out this month as well. Can't wait for that. And I think that's most of it. I think that's most of what we got. I want to use this opportunity to say I streamed a little bit in this time, but some friends of mine and I, Josh, John, and a couple more that haven't really made a YouTube debut, we've been playing some games behind the scenes, and one of them came up with the idea that streaming them might be a good time. So if you want to see some friends of mine and I play through a visual novel in the only way acceptable known to man, which is take the visual novel, assign everyone a role as you go, and try your best with a bunch of idiots to actually act this thing out, we can set up a stream for one of these things. Because let me tell you, it's a good time. As cringy as it sounds, we hardly progress in these things. It takes hours upon hours of our lives to beat them because we're stopping every 30 seconds and laughing so fucking hard. And that's about it. So, if you're watching this video and you think that sounds like a good time, just drop a comment. Say that, hey, this sounds like a good time, and we can set that up. Not sure if we do it on a YouTube channel or on Mixer. I don't really want to use Twitch because they're kind of weird nowadays, and plus getting big on Twitch is like, what the fuck, right? So, yeah, that's about it. Alright, well, at this point, this section has probably taken up about half of the video's runtime, so I should probably get her going and get this edited so I can hopefully get it out. That being said, my name is Soda, and I'll see you all in the next video of whatever I make, which will probably be the Astral Chain or The Last of Us. We'll see. Peace.